Yo, people, man, Jazz in the building, Ellen in the building, and apparently she tried to make a comeback, and it didn't go too well. We got Jamari breaking things down, and I feel like we've seen this a multitude of times, man, where people with fame and notoriety doing something and then getting a lot of hate, cancel culture comes after them. Some of them ride the wave, try to ride it out, and some of them fade away into the background and try to make a comeback. And apparently that's what Ellen did, and it didn't go too well. So we're going to see the reason of why that is. And just the other day as well, I can't remember what video I was watching, bro, but it peed me off because celebrities have this catchphrase whenever they mess up, no matter how big the mess up is, they look into a flipping camera and say the famous words, "I take responsibility for all my actions." I'm telling you right now, I've never met a person in real life that has ever said that. Every time I hear those words, bro, I want to punch someone in the face, bro. No offense, man. But those words right there annoy the hell out of me, because that exact person that says those words will then go and do something that's even greater than what they did before that they're apologizing for on the exact same level. I'm telling you, it is jarring hearing those words, bro. Or the turning on the camera and then them coming and sitting in frame. But let's see what Ellen's going through, man. Let's see what
for your approval.
Shout out
This, of
Jamari.
course, was Ellen's big clapback to her detractors, haters, whatever you would like to call them, after she was outed for being yet another power-hungry tyrant in the entertainment industry. Basically, Ellen treated anyone around her who wasn't a celebrity like dirt underneath her shoes. And immediately in her last comedy special, she chose to play the victim in the funniest way possible.
Ellen DeGeneres finds herself at the center of a storm of controversy.
Oh, she. So he's obviously got things basically written on the stairs. Network making target of Ellen. ABC is cancelling Ellen. The show is over for Ellen. ABC puts Ellen in the closet.
Being accused of going.
Ellen trying to deal with Hollywood outcast status. Network blames Ellen's excess. Okay.
Too gay.
Yes, Ellen really acted as if going.
Wait, what?
Ellen DeGeneres finds herself at the center of a storm of controversy.
Being accused of going too far, too gay.
Yes, Ellen really acted as if going too gay was ultimately the reason for her cancellation.
Nah,
I'm
she's
sure it had nothing to
crazy.
do with the fact that she branded herself and earned hundreds of millions of dollars based on this nice person facade that she kept running for decades. The woman's catchphrase was literally, "Be kind to one."
Bro, when you live in a dream or a delusion for too long, fam, I'm telling you, it actually genuinely starts to taint your perspective, bro. Oh my days. Nah, she's an idiot. I can't lie. Sorry, Ellen, but you are.
Another. She would say that literally
shouldn't have done
every
it like
day
this.
at the conclusion of her show.
I always end each show by saying, "Be kind to one another."
Breaking news tonight. Is the Queen of Nice really the Queen of Me?
And then it turns out there were dozens of accusations of her being a Karen witch, both professionally and when she was out in the general public.
Toxic, phony, hypocrite, liar. That's what she is. This environment, this toxic culture that she created in the office has been going on for 16 years.
In 2018, Dana DiMatteo flew from Chicago to Los Angeles and was delighted to be picked out of the audience to have some fun with Ellen. But then she says she was shocked when she was briefed on the comedy bit by the producers.
They tell you, you can't be smarter, funnier than Ellen. She's the comedian and the star, not you.
She emailed the owner of the restaurant and complained about your chip nail polish.
What?
And I was like, what?
So essentially, Ellen was one of the first people to be genuinely cancelled, and once she was outed for being a big meanie, her show's ratings went down the shitter. And even her other daytime show, Ellen's Game of Games, was cancelled at that very same time in 2022. Essentially, everyone's gay grandma stopped being invited to the cookout. Like, no more
Nah, you might need to chill. You might need to chill with these jokes, bro.
Essentially, everyone's gay grandma stopped being invited to the cookout. Like, no more carne asada for you, Ellen. As a matter of fact, I kinda think that you deserve to eat rabbit food for the rest of your life. You know what? Fuck the rabbit food, I'm giving you pig slop.
Did you feel like you were being canceled?
I mean, I really didn't understand it. I still don't understand it. It was too orchestrated. It was too coordinated. And, people get picked on, but for 4 months straight for me, and then for me to read in the press about a toxic work environment when all I've ever heard from every guest that comes on the show is what a happy atmosphere this is and how...
Yeah, exactly. Guest, bro. They're the ones where the wool is being pulled over their eyes and that, bro. It's different to the people that are working in the background. Like, what are we doing here and that, man? They're the ones that are believing in the facade. That's why the guests are going to think that because you made them believe that the show and you are a certain type of way, but it was not that whatsoever. So, of course, the guests are going to feel like that. You're painting a picture that wasn't really real. You get what I'm trying to say? But then you got outed by the people that have actually been by your side day in, day out, day in and day out, and make this whole thing tick and that, bro. It wasn't coordinated, bro. You got exposed in that, fam, and then the public moved accordingly. It's that simple. Like, what? This is what I'm saying. She was living in this dream fantasy world for too long. And also the whole situation where the woman was saying that she got briefed on what basically the people behind the scenes and the producers were saying, and you can't be smarter than Ellen and da-da-da. Like, anyone that doesn't have talent, knows it doesn't have talent, and doesn't want to actually put in the actual hours and practice to actually get better, but then will then look at someone and say, hey, you can't do this and you can't do this if you want to be part of this, is crazy to me, man. She was never going to get anywhere. Her downfall was inevitable.
When all I've ever heard from every guest that comes on the show is
like,
what a
I've already
happy
heard enough,
atmosphere
bro.
this is,
Like,
and how
it's
what a
obvious.
happy place it is.
But yes, this whole ordeal was a pretty jarring series of events, as during the mid-2010s, Ellen was really considered one of the least problematic people in show business. She was out here winning humanitarian awards, making buku money, and she was essentially the fun grandma of daytime television, dancing around in Target, playing with kids. But then one by one, people came forward, the walls came down, and her entire world kind of collapsed.
Anyway.
Oh yeah, I got kicked out of show business. Yeah, because I'm mean. No mean people in show business.
As really did the facade of the entire entertainment industry in general. I mean, now especially with all of the Epstein stuff, Hollywood as well as many of the elites of the world are really more—
I'm sorry, that whole comment as well that she just made is different if you were painting yourself or just acting the way you genuinely were. But to be acting a certain type of way and then people find out that you're on the whole other end of the spectrum, like, what are we doing here, man? Take some
more under
accountability.
fire than ever before, as it's like this huge spotlight has now been shined on some of the biggest public figures on the planet. But we will get back to that idea in regards to Ellen here in a minute. Either way, it was so funny to me how disgraceful it was for her to use her final breath to try and save face this way, acting as though she was being unfairly kicked out of the entertainment industry for being too blunt, pulling both the gay and the woman card.
For those of you keeping score, this is the second time I've been kicked out of show business. Can't be gay and be in show business. Mean, old, and gay, the triple crown. I have OCD and ADD. I'm honest, I'm generous, I'm sensitive and thoughtful, but I'm tough and I'm impatient and I'm demanding, I'm direct. I'm a strong woman.
The essence of the special really was totally a lie.
So overall, the entire special was a steaming pile of dog crap, and it did not make the splash that Grandma thought that it would, as she really came off as entitled, arrogant, deeply out of touch, and completely unapologetic. And both critics and fans alike were left disappointed. And then to make matters even worse, it's really no secret that she had this very public relationship with Diddy for years, who has congruently lost public favor at a rapid pace due to being exposed for his not-so-private life. And his expose coincidentally actually happened right around the time that Ellen's special came out. You know, they really killed those two birds with one stone.
So tell me about your birthday party. Am I invited?
Yes.
Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's that?
And then, you know, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel. You know?
And then it will carry on there.
Yeah.
Know what happens
I mean,
there?
the after party.
No, I know about them.
Thanks to my friend Diddy, you are always the life of the party. Apparently I have a history of not knowing which parties I've been invited to, Diddy. Happy birthday P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Sean Combs, or as I like to call him, Cuddle McSnugglestuff. No, you don't need to know why. This group of kids had a dream to dance with Diddy. Today, that dream came true.
You're gonna be early for my party?
Yes, I am. No.
No.
You know I have to arrive fashionably late.
All right. Not too late, though.
Not too late?
Not too late,
What
please.
time would you like me there?
I'll tell you later.
Okay,
But not
okay.
too late. Because, you know, once you get there, the party really starts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I really do think that it's no coincidence that she was so close to Diddy for all—
I was about to say as well, I didn't know that they were that close. Oh my days. I did not know they were that. I know there was the whole situation with the children coming on, dancing, all of that type. I did not know they were on a nickname basis, bro. Oh, yeah. With the inside jokes as well. I'll tell you later.
I'll tell you later.
Okay,
But not too late.
Because you know, once you get there, the party really starts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I really do think that
GG's,
it's no
man.
coincidence
Like I said,
that
her
she
downfall
was
was
so
inevitable.
close to Diddy for all of these years, who ended up being an absolute freaked out psychopath who would do absolutely anything to gain power and influence. Like, the guy was doing really bad shit for decades. And to me, anyone who had a seemingly close relationship to him like Ellen did for all of these years, while she was also so deeply ingrained in Hollywood in general, had to all these years,
The hell is
while
she
she was
doing? What the, how do you get into this position, bro? Like, what the bro? I'm telling you, man, you get to a certain level of fame, bro, and I feel like your brain just starts to disintegrate.
also
man. I
so
can't lie.
deeply ingrained in Hollywood in general, had to know that some suspect shit was going on in the background. Because you have to understand that these things were allegedly talked about in entertainment circles for decades. But still, Ellen platformed him almost every single year of her show. She paraded him around kids, and even described him as her favorite guest of all time. Look, all I'm saying is you don't earn a nickname like Cuddle McSnugglestuff by merely having a working relationship with someone. And when Ellen was questioned about her connection to Diddy when the files kind of started to come out, she had absolutely nothing to say.
Ellen, were you surprised by the allegations about P. Diddy? Did that surprise you about P. Diddy?
And the craziest thing, this is exactly what you should have done in your own controversy. Instead of coming back and then trying to paint the picture like you're the victim, bro. Just move on. Simple. Just move on. That's exactly how you should have moved in that, bro. Your ego, pride, all of that couldn't handle that, man. Now look, you're getting cancelled again.
He's been on your show many times.
You're getting cancelled
Have you been
again.
to his parties?
And not only that, but once the hammer really started to come down upon Diddy's head,
Pause.
Ellen coincidentally moved right out of the country, right around the time that his home was getting raided by the feds. And eventually all of the things that Diddy was doing in the dark would come to light, as we all learned that Sean Combs was a prolific abuser of multiple people.
When Combs didn't get his way, he was violent. And he subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse so that they would participate in the freak-offs.
And now you see you get me? So things don't go Diddy's way, and all of a sudden he gets violent. Same thing with Ellen when the producers have to brief these guests and all of these people in the audience that you can't be funnier than her and da. You see those? See? Little same similar traits and that, bro. You get what I'm, because I'm not really a person that believes in what do you call it, birds of a feather flock together and that, bro. Because I don't think just because you roll with someone you have the exact same traits as them, but at the same time there is some truth to it. You get what I'm trying to say? So yeah, little distinction.
So in November of
Little
2024,
distinction.
when she and her
Little
wife
traits.
moved to Southwest England, many people saw this as her attempting to distance herself.
Why the hell did you come here, bro? What
Her wife moved to Southwest England. Many people saw this as her attempting to distance herself from the downfall of her good friend. In other words, the spot got too hot and Ellen had to bounce. Although she herself claimed that she left because Trump would be taking office, and she simply could not live in a country being governed by his regime.
A beautiful woman up there. That's your mother, isn't it, huh?
Yeah, look at her.
Hello.
Yeah, she's available if you're interested. I'd like to offer her.
So she went over to England and purchased a $20 million ranch, and then a couple of months after that, another $30 million mansion. She spoke about this publicly during a private event held at a theater over there. We got here to England the day before the election, and we woke up to lots of texts from our friends and crying emojis. We were like, we're staying here. We're not going back, we're not leaving. So we bought a house that we thought was going to be a part-time house, then we decided we needed a different house, and now we're selling that house. And strangely enough, after only living in England for 1 calendar year, the couple has reportedly moved back to America. And the whole thing seemed extremely suspicious and performative to me. For one, because of everything happening with Cuddle McSnugglestuff, and for two, because Ellen is a massive hypocrite. She said during the same live appearance at the Everyman Theater that she specifically was leaving because of the Trump regime, and the fact that the LGBT community would now be under attack, claiming that she took issue with same-sex marriage potentially being unprotected once again under federal law.
There are people in America and Republicans who would quite like to undo the right for gay people.
Okay. I'm telling you, bro. The whole Hollywood star on the floor, bent over, and then you look at the position of her leg. How is her foot in this position? Bro, she's not human. She's not normal, bro. I'm telling you, bro. You get to a certain level of fame, and certain cognitive functions within your brain and just regular logic, and it goes away. How is her foot in this position, bro? What the no, genuinely, because isn't that, I don't know, bro. A flipping ankle can go 360 degrees, apparently, fam. That's a cyborg. That's a clone.
That's back on the table as a debate, I think,
absolutely.
isn't it?
The Baptist Church in America is trying to reverse gay marriage. They're trying to, at the very least, stop it from happening in the future and possibly reverse it. And Portia and I are already looking into it, and if they do that, we're going to get married here.
Which would be totally fair until you consider the idea that Ellen is very good friends with former President George Bush, who during his time in office was opposed to gay marriage himself.
It's none of my business what somebody's. Now, when somebody makes it my business, like on gay marriage, I'm going to stand up and say I don't support gay marriage. In my state of Texas, if we try to have gay marriage, I would campaign against it.
It's also hilarious to me that she said, oh, everything in England is so much better, that apparently the people were so much nicer and life was so much simpler. But now only 1 year later, after spending
I don't know about all of that.
All of this money and taking a strong political stance,
Like,
she is
literally,
crawling back on her hands and knees to America. And so her so-called activism comes off as extremely performative every time. As for one, she obviously has these funds to spend tens of millions of dollars.
No, she's tired, bro. She's tired. No, she should have stayed. Like, she genuinely should have stayed in that farmhouse, bro. She looks tired, fam. She looks tired. All of the lies, trying to put them together, creating different storylines on some Doctor Strange-ish and pick things out of this timeline and put it over here and put it back and that, bro, on some low-key-ish. Like, chill out, bro. She's tired, man. She can't keep it up anymore, fam. She can't keep it up anymore. This is what I'm saying. When you guys try to create false narratives, you got to understand that your whole life has basically, or most of your life, has been on show. So when you try to create a narrative, you got to make sure that you didn't say anything in your past that can contradict what's going on right now. But that's that. You guys don't think like that, though. You get what I'm trying to say? And it's good because you might get exposed day in and day out.
As for one, she obviously has these
She's
funds
tired, though,
to
man.
spend
She's
tens
tired.
of millions of dollars in the matter of only a couple of years to essentially run away from her perceived issues, while she simultaneously acts as though she's some sort of political refugee. And secondly, I really do think that she moved across the pond simply to flip these mansions. Like I said, she lived in the first one for only 1 month, while also simultaneously hiring and managing a 70-person project to renovate the home in 10 weeks, before listing it for $10 million more than she had paid. While all along, Ellen had the goal to act like she was living that farmer life, when she was clearly not cut out for this shit at all.
Hello, sheep. You're not supposed to be in here.
Sheep will be fun.
Good job, baby.
Yeah, GG's, man. Yeah. Like, this is kind of performative. I can't lie to you. And the thing is, realistically, you can call anything performative, bro. But she's doing the most basic of tasks, fam. She's like, bro. Like, what are we doing? Why does this need to be in display? Especially if you're in the background trying to be low-key, like...
You can do it, baby.
We're going in a circle.
Nah,
Much admiration for rowers.
This is crazy.
And because Ellen did technically live there, even though it was for such a short amount of time.
The thing is, though, obviously in like same person marriages, especially with women, bro, does the same effect happen? Because if this was me and I was with my woman and she was filming me and she said, "You got this, baby. I can't lie to you. My pride, ego, torn in two." I don't know if that exists in this dynamic right here. I wonder. You get me? Because that right there would have been like, to the heart. What do you mean I got this, bro? The hell, bro? You know, I'm trying to say crazy to me, man. But yeah, she's doing too much. She's doing too much. Like the fact that we just saw multiple
You can do
things.
it, baby.
We're going in a circle.
Like, she's doing too much, man.
Admiration for rowers.
And because Ellen did technically live there, even though it was for such a short amount of time, literally 1 month, she could claim it was her primary residence, saving her up to 24% in capital gains tax when she decided to sell the house, which in this case was over $2.4 million. Are y'all starting to get the picture I'm painting? And you have to also keep in mind that she has flipped over 50 mansions in the last
Why is she always on the floor? Like,
I'm
what
painting. And you have to also keep in mind that she has flipped over 50 mansions in the last 20 years, owning 24 houses in Southern California alone. And even in regards to her flipping this first house and buying this other mansion, she was completely disingenuous about that as well, trying to claim that they simply had to move because there was not proper room for her horses on the first property, which is something I think you would consider when you're shelling out $20 million. You know, in reality, I think the little weasel had the quick flip plan all along, and then she just also wanted the social brownie points to boot. And that's not to even mention the fact that she pissed off a bunch of locals there, including the local government, because she did not get the proper permission to do this quick flip of hers. And then the biggest issue she ran into is that she might have disturbed ancient Roman remains. And then also the biggest issue she ran into is that she might have disturbed ancient Roman remains. And then also the fact that she put this massive wire fence around the property that people feared would create serious flooding issues for the rest of the village that she was living in. And funny enough, months after this renovation, while this farmhouse was still sitting on the market, a flood did actually hit the area and completely surrounded the estate she was trying to flip with polluted water.
Montecito is under complete evacuation, the entire town. This is crazy. This creek next to our house never flows, ever. It's probably about 9 feet up, and it's going to go another 2 feet up. We have forces ready to evacuate. We need to be nicer to Mother Nature, because Mother Nature is not happy with us.
And if that is not beautiful karma by nature, I do not know what is. Now, to go back
and then she still found a way to put in the nice narrative
to the
in
comments that I made earlier, there have been a lot of unfounded rumors circulating online in regards to Ellen and the islands. But so far, she has not been listed explicitly at all in the files that have been released. Although Aaron Rodgers did go on to Joe Rogan and had this to say about her show.
Oh, well, you know where that is too, right? It's a similar image to that, right?
No.
I know Jamie does.
What is it?
It's on the set of a famous talk show that's now not on anymore.
Oh, Ellen? Was that Ellen?
Yeah.
Really?
But just look at the temple and then look at the...
Let me see Ellen's background. What? Oh, similar. That looks like a building, though.
It just goes to show that when someone muddies their reputation the way she did, I feel like all kinds of allegations will gain traction. I do want to point out here that Ellen has never faced any sort of criminal charges in relation to the likes of Diddy or Epstein for that matter. But to me, she really does seem like the type of person to look the other way to continue to gain power and relevance.
Nah, but that's all of the celebrities, bro. Like, come on now, man. You can't even put that on her. Well, you can, but it's all the celebrities though, bro. They're all like that. They're all gonna protect their own interests and own clout and money and all of that type of stuff. You get me? But the most revealing thing for me with her relationship with Diddy is every single time we saw a clip of them, they were constantly talking about a party. Like, what? Nothing else. Constantly talking about parties. When you come into mine, can I come to yours? Come on now.
As there were many such cases
where there's fire, I mean where there's smoke,
with her very
there's
own
fire.
Show in regards to the higher ups seemingly doing whatever the they wanted to the peasants who worked for them. I don't know, it's just crazy how quickly Ellen really fell out of public favor. You know, everyone really turned on her after seeing through this 3-decade facade. Like, if you go look at the comments on any of her public posts on literally any platform, there was some really dark shit going on there. But either way, I want to know what you guys think about this Ellen update down below. Do you think she was fleeing the country to not be burned by that Diddy fire? Is there possibly some other things that will come out about Ellen in the future? Y'all let me know down below. But either way, I do want to thank you guys for watching today's video, dropping a like and subscribing. But as you guys know, it's been your boy the Tan Superman, and some other Hollywood frauds out here need to be covered, so I'm out. Peace!
Yeah, shout out Jamari, man. I already said what I needed to say. It's your boy and Jazz. I'm gone in a bit, people.